Hello friends, Tony here, welcome. So in this video we are going to work with a Spatie permission package. We are going to create a Laravel project, make a CRUD for users, posts, roles and permissions. And also define a super admin. As you can see here in Chrome, I am logged in as admin in our project. And here we can see a link for the users, so we can navigate the users, and we have a CRUD. We can create new user, edit and delete users. The same for posts, roles and permissions. In Firefox, I'm logged in as a test user, and let's go to test user here. We can see test user has a moderator role, and the moderator role has the permission to create posts, force delete any posts, create user, delete posts, delete any user, and so on, but not the view roles. As you can see here, we don't see roles and also permissions. Okay, we also, as you can see here, I'm a test, but if I navigate /roles, we protect them with middleware. So that's it, what we are going to build. So here is a Spatie Laravel-Permission package, so you can go ahead and read more. So blade directives, defining a super admin, Artisan commands, also middleware, and so on. Also here we have a best practices, roles versus permission, and we have done this. So roles are best only assigned to users, and we have assigned only roles to users, not the permissions. And then permissions are best assigned to roles. We have assigned permissions to roles, and then users have roles, roles have permission, and the app always check for permissions. So views check for permission names. On the views we checked with a can permission name. Also policies, model policies, controllers, and middleware. We use middleware, and also on the routes. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay friends, so let's create the project first and make a CRUD for users. Also I'm going to make a CRUD for posts because I want to explain more in detail the Laravel permission. So let's open the terminal and first let's create a project. I'm going to say Laravel new. Let's name it Laravel permission. I'm going to choose Livewire and Laravel built-in. Now for Vault, paste and create, then run the npm run build. Okay, npm run build. We are good. Now just cd in the Laravel permission. I'm going to open this with a VS Code. And first, we need to, just let me close this. We need to open the .env file because I don't like to use SQLite here. Let's use the MySQL. Okay, I have a database created, so Laravel permission. And now I'm going to open again the terminal and run the PHP Artisan, or I have an alias for that, just Artisan migrate : fresh. Yeah, again, not Laravel permission, but permissions. And we are good. Now we can close this and we can open the project. So Laravel permission.test. Here is a project. I'm going to sign up here. And here we have the default Laravel dashboard. Now let's add a link here and make a CRUD for the users because we use Livewire. So let's first create some Livewire components. And also I have a alias for the Livewire. Just instead of PHP Artisan make Livewire like this. And inside the users directory, I'm going to create the user index, then the user create component, and also the user edit. Okay, then open the VS Code and let's open the web routes and register the routes, which I'm going to do inside the route middleware here. At the end, I'm going to say route get, and for the users, I'm going to use that user index and name it users index, then also route get users, not users show, but this is going to be users create. I'm going to use the user create component, and yeah, it's going to be also users create the name, then route edit, and here use the user edit component. We are good with the web routes. Now let's open the sidebar, because yeah, we need to add a link here. And here we have a link. I'm going to copy this and paste it down there. I'm going to change the icon to be users, and also the route is going to be users.index. And yeah, we need to change also here to be users. I think we are good. If we refresh, here we have users. If I click, we are on the /users here. Here now I need a table to display all the users, and Laravel use the Flux UI, but here on the Flux UI, if we want to work with tables, we need to upgrade to Pro. So for that, I'm going to use the Flowbyte, and here we have a table in the Flowbyte. I'm going to copy this one. You can copy what you like. And let's close now the sidebar, and I'm going to open the user index blade. And here, just to save some time, I have prepared a code, and I'm going to copy from my Notion template and paste it here. Okay, so here now I have a Flux heading and subheading, so user index and list of all users, and also a button for the create user, or we can say new user maybe. The stripe is route users create. Then we have a separator, and we have a table that I showed you in here. Now for the name, for the user, I'm going to display the ID, name, email, and here we're going to have actions, edit and delete. And here I have in the body, make for each users as user. Okay, so display the ID, name, and email. And we have actions, so button for the edit and delete. For the edit, I added the shref here, and icon pencil. For the delete, wire click. We need to create this delete user in the user index class. And also I added the wire confirm. So are you sure you want to delete this user? And also the icon is trash. I'm going to save, and I'm going to open the class now, so the user index class. And as I told you, we need to create this method on the user index. So let's say public function delete user, passing the user ID, and we can delete that by just finding first the user. So $sign user to be equal with user find or fail, I'm going to say, and let's import the user model. So then delete that user. And also we need to have all the users here, because we make a for each. So in here I'm going to say $sign users to be user. We don't need user with roles, just say user, and I'm going to use the paginate by 10. and then I'm going to pass here. Okay, I think we are good now. Let's see. Let's open our project. And yeah, as you can see, here is the table. Just we need to run the composer run dev to this one, and I am going to open a new one. So yeah, now it's looking more nice. Okay, now when I click the new user, we'll navigate the user/create. Here we need the form. So let's open let's close this, and let's open the user-create. And also I have prepared a code for this just to save some time. And yeah, here I have the heading, user create new user, then the form, where submit, create the user. And we have name, email, password inputs, nice flags input. I put here the wire model for name, email, and the password, and a button create the user. Let's save and let's open now the user create class. We need to define the properties, so public name, email, and also the password. Now just because I want to say this is going to be a string, the same for this one, and also this is going to be okay. Then we can use the validate attribute, but I prefer to use here protected function rules. Okay, and return here the rules, but instead of this I prefer to have an array. So required string, something like this, the same for the email and also for the password. I think we are good now here. We created the rules. Now we need to create the create user method. So it's going to be here, create user. First we validate, then we say user create, user, use the app model, name, email, password, decrypt. Then if we want, we can add a session, but I'm going to comment this, reset the name, email, and the password. And then I'm going to say return, redirect to the user's index. So let's save and let's see on the browser. Here is the form. First, if I click, yeah, we have validation. Then if I see, we have password like this, but just leave 4. Create the user, yeah, must be at least 8. And I'm going to say I want 8, create the user, and now we have the user here. Okay, if I click delete, cancel, delete, I'm going to click OK, and it's deleted. Very good. Let's create a new one. And now let's work with edit. The same thing, I'm going to open the user edit class, and let's copy what we have here. We need the name, email, and the password. Now the password is going to be either string or null. And here I'm going to assign the null. This is going to be an empty string, and also this one an empty string. The rules is going to be different. So instead of this one, I'm going to use the rule from validation. It's going to be unique to the user's email. Ignore this user. Okay, password is going to be not required now because we can leave it empty and just update the name and the email. So it's going to be sometimes. Then it's going to be string, but also this is going to be nullable. And then just let me open the web routes, because here, yeah, we use the user, the route model binding. So we can say public user $user, and let me just import the model. I'm going to create the mount method here. This user now is $user because we have route model binding. This name is username and this email user email. And when we create the user here, we are to change that to say update the user. This validate, and instead of something like this, we can say $sign of this user update name and email. The password now we're going to check if it's empty. Okay, so if this is empty, the password is going to be the same as this user password. Otherwise, it's going to be new one, what we put in the input. And yeah, we need to redirect to the users, which I think we are good. First, I'm going to save, and let's try now. I can go here, refresh. Let me just copy this one, email, and I'm going to edit this one here. Oh yeah, we need also to work with Blade. So copy first, user edit, paste that in, change user update, and I'm going to say update the user. Here we have to say update user, and also update user here. Let's save, and let's see on the browser. Yes, we have the, if I just add dot, update the user, we have dot. I'm going to try now to put this email, which is taken. If I say update, yeah, the email has already been taken. And of course, we can add a password. We can change the password. So if I say 1 to 4, update, and then we can update the password. Good. So we have a CRUD for the users. We need that when we create a user, we need to have here roles, because we need to assign roles to the user. And also when we update, do the same thing. But for now, because we don't have roles, let's start and work with the other CRUDs. I'm going to create a post model for that. So let's open the terminal and say Artisan make model. I'm going to name it post. You can name it what you like, product or article or anything. I'm going to choose migration and hit enter. Okay, then let's open the post migration, which is going to be very simple, a title and the content. Oh, sorry. Yeah, open again, because also we need to add $sign table, the user ID, and yeah, origin ID, user ID, references ID. That, let's close, and let's open again the ghost and run the Artisan migrate. Very good. Now we have posts. Let's create post index component, post create and post edit. So make colon livewire. Inside the post directory, I'm going to create post index, and then post create, and then post edit. Okay, then let's come here and register inside the routes. The same we have for the users. Just change here, instead of users, we are going to say the post like this. And here we're going to use the post index. class, here post create, and here post edit. Okay, so we have post create plus. Okay, yeah, also here we need to say post. Now let's open the sidebar and copy this, paste down there, change the icon to be document, and also the route is going to be not users but posts. Also here, posts, save, and if we see we have posts here, if we click, we navigate to /posts, and now we need to work with that. So I'm going to open the user dash index and select all what we have here, copy, and then open the post index and paste it here. Change this to be, instead of user, to be post index, and here list of all posts. The route is going to be post create and say new post. Okay, for the post we're going to display the ID, the title, and the author, so the user, and the actions. Here is going to be for each post as a single post, so $sign post. And yeah, let's copy and paste it here, and here is going to be title. Then we're going to display the author name, so let's say post author name, and we need to have that method. So let's open the post model, and first let's say protected fillable and author. Yeah, not author. Here is going to be user ID, and also here user ID. But now we have this author method. Then instead of users edit, here is going to be post edit, and here is going to be single post ID, and also post here. Now instead of delete user, we're going to say delete post. We need to create this. So I'm going to copy, save, and now let's open the post index, and we need to create that method, public function delete post. Yeah, it's going to be the logic over there. And also here we need all the posts, so post with author, not get but paginate by 10, and then here pass in all the posts. The logic here, so first we need to find and then post delete, find or fail, instead of, or let's leave it like this. And yeah, now we have something like this. Let's work with the create and the edit. Close this. Let's open the user create, because yes, we need here the boilerplate, and open now the post create. Paste it here. We need to make some changes. Instead of user, we can say post. And also post here. Instead of create the user, we can say create post here. For the post, we need not the name, but we need the title. And also say title here. Label is going to be title, type text. Just here is going to be title, and here is going to be your title, or first post title like this. Then we need the content. Like this, post content, wire model content, and here instead of create the user, let us say create post. I think we are okay. Now let's open the class. So post create, define the properties first. So public title, content, then not rules like this. We have rules now. Let's create the public function, not submit, but create post. And we're going to validate the logic to create the post and then reset. And optionally, we can add this one. And then we're going to return redirect to the post syntax. The logic is very simple, so we can say post model, create passing the title and the content, and also here we can say max 500. As I told you, I prefer to have an array here, but for now let's leave it like this. Create post, I think we are good, so let's open this one, and if I say create post, we have validation. But if we create the post, user ID, yeah, we need also the user ID in here to be auth ID. Refresh, and now if I create, here we have this. Let's create another one and this one. Now let's work with the edit of the post, which is going to be similar. So I'm going to select all copy, and then let's open the post edit and paste it here. Make some changes. Post update. Instead of create a new post, I'm going to say update of the post. Also here we're going to say update post, then update post here, and we are good. Okay, so if I click on the edit, now we need to have the post. So let's close this, and let's open the post edit. Here we have the route model binding. So let's define public post $sign post, and then also the title and the content. And here this post is $sign post, title and content. Then we need to edit that, update the post. So we validate and we update title and the content, session if we want, and then return redirect to the route, not post show but post index. And we don't need them. For the validation also, let's open the post create and copy the rules. And here we just say validate. I think we are good. Let's see. We can update the post, and yeah, we have two dots. Remove this. Update. Okay, now if I remove everything here and say update, we have validation. Okay, I think we have, yeah, now we need to see for the delete, cancel, delete is working also. Now we have also the CRUD for posts. Let's install the package. installation in Laravel, we need to run the composer require, copy this, and open the terminal, paste that in, then vendor publish. Okay, before running the migrations, if you have UIDs and so on, then let's run this. I'm going to clean this and then migrate. In the model, in the user model, we need to add the use HasRoles. So let's open the user model, which we have here, and also use that HasRoles. And also, because we are here, let's create the relationship method for the posts. Public function posts has many posts. So let's clean this and let's open the VS Code. Here I'm going to open first the roles, or let's open the user dash index and copy this, because it's going to be the same also for the roles index. Oh, we don't have, we need to create, sorry that. So let's open here and create Livewire components. So make Livewire inside the roles directory. We're going to say role index, role create, and role update or edit. And also the same for permissions. So instead of role, we are going to say permissions. Inside the permissions, create the permission index, then permission create, and permission edit. I think we are good. So let's open the web routes and register them. So copy here, one for the roles, one for permissions. Change this to be roles. Okay, and this one to be for permissions. I think we are good. Now for roles, we need the role index. Here the role create, and here the role edit. Roles edit. Also here we can pass the ID or the role. The same here, set of post, permission, and say, permission index, permission create, and permission edit. I think we are good now. Let's open the sidebar and add 2 more links in the sidebar. One is going to be for the roles and one for permissions. Now for roles, I'm going to add lock closed. I think we have for the permissions just the key, and here we need to change this to be roles and this post here to be permissions. I think we are good. So let's open the browser. In our project, we have roles and permissions. If I click here, nothing. Also, we have empty. So for that, let's open the role index. And we need to open also the user index and paste it. Instead of user, role. And here say roles. The route is roles create, new role. And for the role, we have the ID, the name, and we can add also the guard name if we want, but I'm not going to do that, just leave the name. Very easy. Here instead of users, it's going to be roles, and here single role, display the role ID and the role name. Then we have the actions for the edit, so roles edit, and here also add role ID. Then we need to say delete a role and pass in the role ID. I think we are good here. Let's open the class. So role index class, and let's add first roles. So let's say $sign roles to be roles all, and pass in the roles here. If I save and let's open the browser roles, we have this. Also, we need to create the method to delete the role. So public function delete role. First get the role. If we have a role, delete. Otherwise, something like this. We can leave it like this. Yeah, let's leave it like this, just because to save some time. And then let's open the role create. I have prepared some code, so it's just to save some time for us. I'm going to paste it here, and we have heading role create a new role, the form create role, and with name and permissions. But let me just replace this with this one, because I added some classes, also added the separator here, and check all. Okay, so we have checkbox group, passing the wire model selected permissions, and then we have all permissions. So we need to specify to define the selected permissions and all permissions. Properties. Okay, create role. Now I'm going to save, and let's open the role create class. As I told you, we need to define these two. So public name first. Name is going to be a string. Then array, not permissions, but all permissions, and also the selected permissions. Then we're going to say public function mount, array of permissions. We're not going to get the permissions here, but permissions, all permissions is going to be from model of Spatie permission, plug name the array, like this. Let's create also the protected rules function. Okay, name, select permissions, and it's going to be existing permissions name. Very good. Just I don't like as a string here, but anyway, now let's leave it like this just to save some time. We need to create a role, and we need first to validate, then role. Just simplify this from model. Okay, create the name, and then sync permissions, and then reset the name and selected permissions. And also what I want is to return redirect the roles index. I think we are good. So let's see on the browser if I got a new role. We have a name, create role. The name field is required. We have permissions here, check all, but we don't have any permissions yet. So let's create the role. I'm going to say first role like this, and I like to create the role and permissions with underscore. So in snake case, let's create now, and we have a first role. Now let's work with update. I think with a delete, let's see, cancel, and if I delete, yeah, we can delete. So let's create another role just to have here. Yeah, user role and create. Yeah, we have here. Now let's work with edit. I think, yeah, we need something like this also on the role edit. Paste it. So we need the name, all permission and selected permissions. And also we need the role. Model role on the mount. We're going to have the role here and say this role to be equal with role name, role name, selected permissions, role permissions, plug name. Okay. And all permissions is going to be permission from the model, plug the name, the array. Like this. We have rules, but the rule is going to be to ignore this role ID. I think we are okay. Then instead of create, we need to say update. The role will validate, and instead of here, we can say this role update name to this name. Yeah, also we can say like this. And this role reset and redirect. Let's save. Role create, copy and open the role edit. Paste that in. Update. Update the role. Here also is going to be update role. And I think we are okay now. Yeah, let's change also this to be update role. If I click, we have user role. Just say dot dot, update the role, and we have dot dot. If I go to roles, let's create a new role, and I'm going to say user role, create that role. Okay, we have user role, and here we have user role dot dot. I'm going to change that the user role, which we have this name, and the name has already been taken. But if I say user role dot update, now we have that. Okay, now let's delete this one. Now we have only the user role like this. Let's work with CRUD for permissions, because we don't have any permissions yet. We seem to be the similar as this one. So let's select all, copy and open the permission edit. Paste it here, change from the role here to be permission. And also permission here. And instead of update the role, we can say update permission. We need the name for the permission also. And yeah, let's change this to be permission name. Now we are on the permission. Instead of permissions here, we're going to say roles. And instead of selected permissions, also selected roles, check all, and instead of all permissions, say all roles. A role like this. And a role. I think we are good. Here, update, permission save, select all copy, and now let's close everything and open the permission, create, paste that in, create new permission. Instead of update, we're going to say create also here. Name is going to be the name, permission name, and then here we have selected roles. Okay, instead of update, create, permission, save. Let's close. Let's open the permission, create class. Here now we need to define the public name. Also, this is going to be string. We need the public also array roles, and then public selected roles. All roles, and this one is going to be selected. Okay, so we have all the roles and selected roles. Then create a public mount to get the assign roles. We don't get the roles here, but we're going to say role, but only the name. We don't need the array, the ID. And let's just simplify this. Models, I think we are good here. Then let's create also the create permission and the validate, not inside here, but public function rules. It's going to be permissions name. Okay. So we can say just validate permission create simplify here. Now if not empty the selected roles, we say roles role were in name. This selected get, not like this. We can say $sign permission sync roles simplify, and then we need a return, so return for permission index. I think we are good. If I save and let's open the browser. Also we need to work with index, so roles index, select all copy, and open the permission index and paste it right here. Here we have to say permission index and list of permissions create, and also new permission. The same thing, we display the name here instead of roles. We have to say permissions. Here we're going to say permission. Also here permission, and then not roles edit but permissions edit. Permission ID. Here delete permission and pass in the permission ID. I think we are good. Save. So let's open the permission index, because also here we need to have all the permissions. So let's say $sign permissions all, because permissions are going to be many. We would say paginate by 10, and then pass the permission here. And when we use paginate, we need to also use the with pagination in Livewire, which I think I have forgotten in others. So if I open the user index, yeah, use it pagination, and then open the post index. Also we have paginate here, so use with pagination. In roles we don't have that because we don't. So if I open a role index, yeah. Okay, so we have with pagination. Now we need to create also the delete. So public delete permission and permission ID. Then if we have a permission delete like this, let's leave it like this. Just open the browser and we will have permissions. Click new permission, name on string. Yeah, here we have role, plug the name to array, and then in the permission create, we don't need the name here. So we have user roles. Okay, so if I say create permission, we need to create the permission. So for example, view any user or any role. And if I say create permission, we have the permission here. Edit, the same thing, that all the roles on the event variable, because I think in the permission index edit, we haven't worked with that. Yeah. Let's copy what we have here. And paste it. We have name and also the public role from the Spatie $sign role, and not a role, we need permission. Yes. $sign permission. And then let's import also the role here. We're going to accept permission, $sign permission, update permission. Okay, so we have defined the permission, name, selected roles, and all the roles. On the mount, we say this permission, passing the permission here, name, this permission name, selected roles, permission roles, plug the name, and then all the roles role, plug the name. Here we have rules for the name. Okay, array, update permission, validate, then this permission update the name, and this permission sync roles. Okay, the session flash we don't need, then return redirect. The same thing on the permission edit. So open the permission edit, and here we don't need that. So if I check this, update permission, we can see now this is selected. We can uncheck, and now if I check this again. So here we are in the permission, view any role. If I go to roles and see this one, yeah, also here they have the same problem. Open the role create. We don't need the name. And also open the role edit. The same thing, we don't need the name here. As you can see, we have the view any roles permission checked. If I remove update from here and go to permissions, this role is unchecked. I think now we have yeah, of course, if I remove and say update, we have validation. We have a CRUD for roles permissions pause. Now for the user, I want also to have select group for roles and permissions, because I want only to assign roles to the user, and then based on the what permission has that role, we will get the permission for this user. So for that, let's open not the role, let's open the permission create and copy this, close, and let's open now the user create. After the password, I'm going to add the roles and open the user create here. On the mount, we need first we need to define the public array roles, which is going to be all rows like this, and then public selected rows. Okay, then say mount all rows is going to be a role from model Spatie, plug the name here. Now let's assign this user to new user variable, and then you can say if not empty, assign a role like this. Okay, the same thing. So let's copy here this one and open the user edit. After the password, paste that in, and also copy this one and open the user edit and paste it right here. Because I think we have the mount. So in here now let's add the roles, all the roles to be rolled, but also let's say this selected roles to be user roles, plug the name, the array, and I think we are good. On the update, we can say this user, sync roles, and now we are good. Let's open the browser. We have roles here. Let's go to roles and create a new role. So I'm going to say the writer role, view any roles, create that, and go to users, where we create a new user. I'm going to check both of them, create that user. Okay, so this one, if I see, has both roles, but if I see this one has no roles, we can assign only the user, for example, and see has only the user. We can check all here or uncheck. Okay, friends, so now we have also CRUD for roles and permissions and users. What we need is use now the roles to protect the links here Also links here, buttons, links, also to protect this with a middleware and so on. Okay, so if I go here, we can see the middleware. Let's also the blade directives. So blade directives, we can use the can for the permission. If auth user can edit and some other condition, but for the permissions we can use this can. Also can any if you want to specify the guard name. For roles we have role and the name writer has a role, for example. Check for any role in the list, has any role, and collection of roles here, has any role, writer or admin, for example, here, and so on. So here is how we can use this package with blade directives. We can see also middleware here. Let's copy this and let's put in the app PHP inside the bootstrap. So we need to open the VS Code app inside the bootstrap. We have here with middleware, paste that in. Yeah, let's just indent a little bit and let's close, and then we can use that middleware, so role manager, permission, and the permission name. Okay, now we have also best practices, so roles versus permission, model policies, and performance tips. So roles versus permission, best practice for thinking about roles versus permission is this. So roles are best to only assign to users in order to group people by sets of permissions, and permissions are best assigned to roles. So we did the same, we assign roles to users and permissions to roles, and then we can have users have roles, roles have permission, and app always checks for permission, not for roles. Okay, also views checks for permission, policies check for permissions, and so on, middleware and the routes. So let's open the way to close this, and I'm going to open first the sidebar, and here we have a dashboard which any user can access that, but the users, who can check the users, who can see this? And right now we don't have any permissions. We have only let me just see permissions. Yeah, view any roles. Let's create some permissions, and I'm going to create them by, let's open first the costy Artisan make seeder, and the seeder name is going to be roles and permission seeder. So if I open that, roles and permission seeder, here I'm going to create some permissions. So here I have some code, permission from Spatie. I have user permissions here, and view any users, view users, create users, and so on, and also for roles. But before that, we need to run the forget cache permissions, and also after we create that. Okay, and then I'm going to create this moderator role, or if that exists, I'm going to give permission to view any user, and so on. Okay, and because we are here, let's just copy that, paste it right here. Instead of user, I'm going to say post permission, and change this to post. Okay, so also we have post permission, and the moderator can also has the posts Let me indent like this. So we have this moderator role. If we don't have, we create, and we also give permission to view users and so on, and also posts, not roles. So let me just run now this permission. Artisan db seed, and the class is let me just copy the class name, paste it here, and now we have, so let's open the project. If I refresh, we have roles. Yeah, but we need to add pagination here, which I have forgot to do that. So if I open the permission index at the end after the table, now yeah, so you can see we have 33 permissions, which is what we need. Also on the roles, we have user role, writer, moderator. I'm going to change this to just user, and as you can see, we have all the permission, and to this user I'm going to assign view any post, just like this. Okay, the writer has only the view any roles. I'm going to remove so the writer can view posts, view any posts, and also create posts. So we have create posts like here. The moderator has delete roles, no. Create roles, no. But for others, yes. Okay. Now we have assigned them in the user. We have these 3 users, which is okay. I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to say this is a test user and test example. I think we have here test example, and the password for this is just password. I'm going to assign a moderator role to this one. So create the user. Okay, we have this test user. Now we are assigned so this one, which this has no role, or we can assign just a user role. So we can see now all the links, and also we can make modification here. So let's use that. Let's open the sidebar, and now let's add a check here with a can. So can, and if this has view and user or view users, in that case we can add this. As you can see, now we don't have the users, but if we want multiple permissions, we can use the can any, and also and can any like this, and here we can add an array with permissions, so view users or view any users. Okay, now if I save, come here, we don't see that because we are assigning as this one who has only the user. If I give a moderator role, now we have users here, as you can see. Okay, if I remove the moderator, we are on the users also, as you can see, but we don't see the link because we removed from here. Now just copy and paste this and change from users the posts. Okay, let's and can any pass the can any and change this for roles. And can any and paste that for the permissions. and also we need to close up. So we apply this get any view user's permission or view any user's permission. In that case, can see this link. Also for post can see this post, this link. For roles can see and for permission only if they have these view permissions or view any permissions permission. Okay, so now we have, because Kamal, this one has what role has user, and the user role has permission to view posts. Okay, now as you can see we are on the post, but also we can change the URL and navigate the users and see the users, delete, and so on. So we can protect that by the middleware. But before that, let's also work with buttons. Who can view the buttons also to create new user. So let's open one by one. Let's open the user index first. And here we can say can only if that user has the permission to edit users. We can say update users permission. Okay, move this up here and then apply also can to this one. And to this one is for delete the user. If that can delete here, because we are on the delete, and if I open the permissions, we can see we have delete and also force delete any for the users. Also the same thing. So if I see, delete users, also force delete users who has the permission to force delete users and force delete any users. Or we can just say delete users, but just I wanted to show you what you can do. In that case, let's move this and we need to close this one. So now if I go to users, we can see the table, but we don't have the permission for the actions. The same thing on this one, to this button. We can say if that can create users, if this user who is in our application has the permission to create the user, can see this button. And as you can see now, I cannot see this button. Now let's protect also the route, which is the last thing. And let's open the web routes. So who can visit these users? We can say apply a middleware and can view end users. Let's see. Now we have 403. This action is unauthorized. Very good. We can go to dashboard and see the posts. So also let's apply middlewares to other routes. So to create, we can say can create users. To edit, can update users. Now for posts, the same thing. Can view any posts. Can create posts. And also here, update posts. Then the same thing for the roles. Can view any roles. Can create roles. and can update roles. Okay, the last one is for permissions. So can view any permissions. Then can create permissions and can update permissions. Now we apply all the middlewares here. You can see if I go to logout and login with the test user, so logout, login with this test user. Now we have also the users, and this test user has this moderator, which this moderator can see users, can edit and delete and create new user. Also posts can edit and delete and just roles. Now roles, I think is a good idea to create a admin or super admin, maybe, which is the best one. So for that, let's go to this one, and we have Artisan commands. So PHP Artisan permission create permission, create role, and also specifying the guard name. So let's copy this and create the super admin. We can create also that with Cedar, but just I wanted to show you also this approach. So PHP Artisan permission create role, and I'm going to create the role super admin. As I told you, I like the snake case, so super admin. Now the role super admin created. Okay, now defining the super admin, you should see we need to go to app service provider and just paste this one. Copy that, open the VS Code and app service provider in the boot method. Paste that in, import the gate, facade. Now return this has a role if that user has the role, not super admin like this, but super admin like this is going to return true for everything. Okay, let me just show you. I'm going to open here the table class. We have users, and let's create also the admin user. Let's open the project. I'm going to log out, and I'm going to register the admin here, admin.com, add the password. Okay, so we are admin, and if I come here and refresh, the admin is with ID 6, and the role super admin is 6. So I'm going to go to model has roles, and we have something here. So let's add the role 6, the app /model, models /user, and the user ID of 6. If I save now and we come here, refresh, we can see also users, posts, roles, permissions. We can create roles and delete updates, so on. So we have defined the super admin. We have super admin, and the super admin is going to return, if the user has a role super admin, it's going to return true for everything. So for example, if I go to roles, we have moderator. The moderator, I'm going to set also view, I'm going to allow to view the roles and say update. Okay. We have super admin here. So now if I see the users, I think this test has the moderator role, yes. I'm going to sign out, and now let's log in with a test user. Okay, we can visit the users, edit, and now, for example, I can assign to this one a super admin, which I don't like. So for that, we can go on the user edit and also user create, and on the mount we have all the roles, role plus the name, but instead of this we can say where not the name is super admin. Okay, and I'm going to copy this and do the same for the user create. So paste it here, save. Now if I come here and refresh, you can see we don't see that role. We have only the moderator, user, and writer. Also, when we create a new user, the same thing. Login as admin, and the role moderator has only the view roles, not to view any roles. If I update, and let's just try one more time, test, got the roles. Now we can see roles. We can click here, but this is unauthorized because also we need to work with this one. So open the role index, and on the buttons here, let's start with this one. We can say can create roles, put here, and also for this one can edit, update roles, and for this one can delete roles. I can save, and now we just can see because we are test and we have that. So go to users. We have this moderator, which the moderator role has the permission just to see the roles, not to edit. But you can play now with this. I think I show you the idea how you can work with the roles and permissions, how you can define also the super admin. Okay, so this video is a video after a long time, and I had a pause because I had a problem with my eyes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share with your friends, and see you in the next one. All the best, and thank you very much.